As you can tell, these tomatoes are getting a little crowded in our seed starting tray, so we're going to show you guys how to separate them out and put them in their individual pots. Every pod here has multiple tomatoes growing in it, and we'll split them up.
We start off by getting the cups ready that we will be transplanting the seedlings into. We drill holes in the bottom of them before we begin.
To get these potted up, all we do is get some cups and we just write the name of the variety on there. And these cups are kind of cool because I've just been recycling them from cups throughout the year. So you'll see some of them are kind of random, but they do an awesome job, especially because they show the root system once they are established in there. So to get the variety out, I just pull them out of the pod just like that, and then I'm pretty forceful with them. I just rip them up into little sections, kind of like that, like this. This one turned into 3, and even if you're kind of rough with it, like this one, look how much I did to that one. It will be okay. It will live. I sometimes also pinch off these primary leaves, the first leaves on the baby plants, and then when we plant them in our cups, we like to plant them kind of deep so that all of the stem can turn into roots to make a really strong plant. Get them all potted up like that. Let me do these other 2 real quick. So once I get them all potted up, I just bring them over here and put some water on them. This little cup has holes in the bottom, kind of waters them pretty nicely. This first round of watering, the soil will kind of start to float a little bit, so it needs a couple more rounds of watering. And these little baby plants will get established in their new little cups. It is important too to get the water on the plants pretty quickly. We have in the past let them sit for a little bit and we've lost some plants that way, but most of the time doing it this way, we don't tend to lose any plants. I'm then going to move them into a spot a little bit out of direct sunlight.
The next section shows a close-up of separating tomatoes with more details provided. If you would like to skip to the end of the project, use the timecodes to skip this section. When it's time to transplant and divide the tomato plants, the first thing I do is look down the row and see how many different kinds are in that row. In this particular row of aromas, we have 13. So after counting how many are in there, we're going to get all set up with our cups. I have 13 cups down here already labeled and with holes in the bottom. And now we just get busy pulling them out. I'm going to grab the tray here, and when I grab them out, I'm not too particular. I really just yank them out of the seed starting tray and put them in the bottom bucket here. All right, there we go. Okay, this first one is already set with just 1, super easy. This next one has 3, so I'm just going to grab them and pretty much rip them apart. And I'm going to pinch off the primary leaves, which are these first leaves. You see me pinching off here. And if there were any leaves higher up on the stalk that would be planted in the soil, I would pinch those off as well. Okay, pull these apart, set them over there. Pull these apart, set them over there. These ones too. Okay, that is all of them. Now we're just going to get our cup and put it in the bottom, and oh wait, this one actually looks really horrible. We're actually just gonna pull this one out of here. Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on there. Okay, oh yeah, this one looks much better. All right, I like to put them in the cups pretty deep. When they're tall and leggy like this, I bend it over, kind of like you can see, because all of that stem will become root, so that's pretty cool. All right, let's grab another one. Bend it in there. And you know, another trick to help this go a lot faster is if you have someone to help you label the cups or someone to help you water them. And I have a little bucket back behind me that's collecting these that I just keep putting these in. Sometimes when they're little like this, I have to kind of hold them up a little bit. Okay, give it a little shake, and that one looks great. You might be wondering why we give ourselves this extra seedling separating job. Well, the answer really is simplicity and to get the seeds on the heat mat we have limited heat mat space, and the heat mats really seem to improve our germination rate. I said simplicity because we start seeds inside and it's still really cold outside here. We don't have our greenhouse going at this point as it would cost a lot of money to heat it. And on warmer days when it is sunny and nice, we do like to move the entire seedling tray outside for a few hours of direct sunlight. So having only one tomato tray to move outside and inside makes things much more simple. You really don't need a greenhouse to grow tomatoes. We did it for years without one, but it really does help to give our plants a little head start and to get fruit sooner. Okay, my little tray is all filled up. I've just been putting them in little trays like this one right here. So I'm gonna put this back here, and then we're gonna get another new tray. When I first started doing this, I used to really worry about how rough I was being on these little plants, but they really are very resilient, and you can even grow tomatoes from cuttings, so that is pretty cool to know about them, that they can take a lot.
Another reason we like to transplant them, well, it's really just to let them continue to grow. Some of these I've noticed, see that leaf right there? It's a little bit off color. We haven't been giving these any fertilizer yet either, but just them being so crowded in the trays, it does seem to, you know, just contribute to them not being as healthy as they could be. So this gives them the start that they need. Started on March 18th. And today is April 16th, so that is how long they've taken to get to this point. They would not be able to stay in their original starting tray all the way up until it's time to put them in the garden. We put stuff in our garden here that last week of May or that first week of June, depending on the weather, as we are in zone 4. All right, well, I just go through that about a million times now.
It's safe to say that it seems like all of these plants are going to make it. We did water them immediately and place them in indirect sunlight, which really seems to be a key component in getting all of them to survive. Look how awesome they look.
It is pretty amazing to see how many different plants we can get off of one 72 cell tray. If you like this kind of video, please consider subscribing to our channel and like this video. I mean, just look at all these plants. That's pretty amazing. All right, thanks for watching.